going, my fellow Homo sapiens? It's your boy YuGiOh, and today I'm coming at you with a archetype review. So it's not a lot of monsters and not a lot of support for this archetype, but after looking at this archetype, I really feel like it looks awesome, it looks fun, and it really looks entertaining. So this archetype is called Majespecters. So this new Majespecter archetype, basically what they are, they're pinnacle monsters without any pinnacle effect. However, they're spellcaster wind monsters. And they all share this one effect, and that effect is they cannot be targeted or destroyed by your opponent's card effects. And I think that right there, that little text right there really makes these cards interesting. The first monster we have up for us today is Majespecter Crow. And its effects reads, when this card is normal summon or special summon, you can add one Majespecter spell card from your deck to your hand. You can only use this effect of Majespecter Crow once per turn. This card cannot be targeted or destroyed by your opponent's card effects. His attack is 1000 and defense is 15. He's a 4-star monster, wind and spellcaster. Not just that, he's a pinnacle monster. So off the back, I really like how these monsters can search out cards from the deck. You got one that's for all monsters, spell and traps, I believe. You have one for spell cards, and I believe you have one for traps. So Crow is really, really interesting. And not just that, I like that you can normal summon or special summon it and get its effect to search. So next up is Majespecter Cat. Looks kind of cute. I will admit that. Looks really, really cute. It effects reads, when this card is normal summon or special summon, just like all the others, you can activate this effect during the end turn. Add one Majespecter card from your deck to your hand. And once again, it cannot be targeted by your opponent's cards effects or destroyed by your opponent's card effects. So off the back, you can add any Majespecter card at the end phase. Now, yes, you don't get the effect rat when it's special summon and normal summon, but you do get to add something at the end phase. Now, he has 1800 defense and only 100 attack. So this monster is definitely going to be something that you put in defense, and his pinnacle scale is 2. So now we have Majespecter Raccoon. And once again, once it's normal summon or special summon, you can add one Majespecter monster. So this one actually adds the monster. We don't have the one that adds the trap yet, if they're going to be one. And once again, it cannot be targeted by your opponent spell and trap cards or destroyed by your opponent spell and trap cards. I love that. I just love that little part there. It has 1200 attack and 900 defense. So unfortunately, like the others, it's really, really small, really, really weak. And that's the really downside, I think, to these monsters. They're really, really weak. It is a 3-star and a pinnacle scale of 5. Okay, so we have a first counter trap card, Majespecter Tempest. I believe that's how you pronounce it. And its effect reads, when a monster or monsters would be special summoned or monster effects is activated, tribute one wind spellcaster to negate the special summon or the activation of the monster effect. And if you do, destroy that card. Man, oh man, I kind of like this counter trap card. It's like a Divine Wrath and a Warning put in together. I feel like this card is good. I'm going to talk a little bit more about this card later on, but let's hop to the next card. Majespecter Tornado. Tribute one wind spellcaster type monster, then target one monster on your opponent control and banish it. Not too bad, not too bad, not too shabby really. It's okay. I like it because, you know, you can stop monsters from going to the graveyard and just go ahead and banish it, and you can just stop monsters that can't be destroyed by card effects and banish it. Okay, so now I believe we have a field card, and it's actually pretty good. So it says all maxi special monsters gain blank attack and defense. We don't know what the attack and defense is at the moment. You contribute one wind spellcaster type monster to special summon one level blank. They don't know what level you can special summon, or lower Majespecter monster from your deck. You can only use this effect of Majespecter Pegasus once per turn. So it's a really decent card. I like it for the simple reason it boosts your monster attack and defense. Hopefully it's a decent amount of attack and defense. I know it's not going to be something like 1,000, maybe 300, maybe 200, maybe even 500. But it seems pretty decent. Not just that, it allows you to tribute one of your monsters and special summon another one, allowing you to get a search. Next up is Majespecter Raccoon. Tribute 1-win spellcaster type monster. Then target one monster your opponent controls and destroy it. Not just that, this is a quick play, so you're going to be able to play this on your opponent's turn. Very, very nice. And finally, Majespecter Storm. Tribute 1-win spellcaster type monster. Then target one monster your opponent controls and shuffle it back into the deck as a normal spell card. It's okay. It's okay. So now, how I feel about this archetype, what I think about this archetype, and what have I heard so far about a lot of people saying. So a lot of people saying that this archetype looks broken. It's going to be tier 1, tier 0. It's just so good because it can't be targeted and it can't be destroyed by your opponent card effects. So how I feel about that, I disagree with the whole tier 1, tier 0 situation. And the main reason is it's not enough cards out right now to say this deck is going to be that good. Not just that, they're really, really weak. I mean, yes, they can't be targeted or destroyed by your opponent card effects, but they're really, really weak. It's not like you can attack over a lot of monsters at the moment. Now, to me personally, they remind me of Massa the Phantom Beast a little bit, because when Massa the Phantom Beast first came out, when they first got announced, as long as you had a token, they couldn't be destroyed by your opponent card effects, or I believe even battle. And a lot of people lost their shit. It was like, oh my god, it's broken. And Massa the Phantom Beast came out, and they were just garbage. With this deck, it seems interesting, it seems hardcore, but I think that it's nowhere near tier 1, tier 0, nowhere near that. I mean, we're going to need a lot more monsters. And not just that, we're going to need some extra deck monsters. Now, me personally, I'd rather see synchros and fusions. And the main reason why I prefer synchros and fusions for this type of monster, this type of archetype, is because they are pivotal monsters. And if you have an AC, they go to the graveyard. I would like my ACs to go to the extra deck. So that's the main reason I say synchros and fusions would be awesome. The second thing I feel that this deck has that really is good for it is that it searches a lot. It's a great deck that searches. It's going to keep cards in your hand. It's going to keep your hand full. The biggest thing about that, though, is that we have cards like Mistake. Thunder King will shut this deck down heavy. Like, it will stop you from searching. Cards like that will definitely hurt this deck. The second thing, another reason why I feel like this deck is not going to be tier 1 or tier 0 off the back is because you have to have monsters on the field to use your spell and trap cards. And yes, they're pinnals, but I mean, come on now. It's not that easy to keep monsters on the field sometimes. All your spell and trap cards, you need to tribute a win spellcaster type monster. You're going first. If you don't set up a pinnacle skill and special summon 5 monsters, you're most likely going to normal summon or set maybe 1 or 2 monsters some type of way. And not just that, I mean, you set a full back row. If I'm going against Majespecters, I know how many monsters you got is how many spell and trap cards you're going to be able to use for the Majespecters effects. So yeah, you might be able to tribute one and you might be able to tribute another one to negate, but once you have no more monsters, you're going to be relying on other spell and trap cards to save you. So I think that's the main thing right there, because you're going to have to tribute your monsters and you're going to definitely need monsters on the field. Yes, they can't be targeted and destroyed by your opponent card effects. I think that's a nice touch. But when your opponent has something like a 3000 beater sitting on the field and you really have no back row, like how are you going to get over that 3000 beater? You're going to have to accede for something or synchro for something to get over that. I feel like the archetype needs a lot more cards. I think they need a lot more support. I think they need a boss monster and something else that really helps their monsters to stay on the field, because they can definitely be destroyed by battle. Something that we know, we have a lot of monsters that can attack a lot of monsters on the field continuously. So overall, I like the deck. I think the deck is going to be fun. I think the deck might even be competitive, but it's going to need a lot more support, or they're going to need that one broken card to really make them up there in the tier bracket. But that's all I have for you today, my fellow Homo sapiens. If I left something out, please let me know in the comment box below how you feel about this deck. Do you like it like I do? Do you think this deck is actually going to be broken? Or do you think this deck is going to be fun? Or do you just feel how I feel, where this deck needs a lot more support to really be extremely competitive and extremely broken? So please rate, subscribe, and comment. It really helps the channel. Thanks for watching. Matane.